Hello gorgeous, I am back today and today we're talking about the matrix of your decisions. One of my followers posted a TikTok of my natural consequences video, which apparently went viral, and that's why I'm getting all of these new people coming in asking questions about natural consequences. So if you are new to my channel, welcome, and I would be more than happy to go deeper into this concept. For the person that posted the TikTok, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I don't know who you are. I'm not on TikTok, but I just wanted to say thank you. So I want to take a little slightly different angle on natural consequences. I've been explaining it. I have about 6-7 videos on this topic, but I think that if we zoom out a little bit today and approach it from a different angle, I think you are going to get a whole nother understanding of it. So the life that you are living right now, okay? The body that you're in, the car that you drive, the job that you have, the type of relationships that you have, how you feel about your satisfaction in life, all of that is a natural consequence of your previous decisions. It is just a natural consequence, a natural byproduct of your previous decisions. So at any given time, we have this sort of matrix of decisions that we have made, and they've all collided to create your life, like the life that you're living right now. Now, if we zoom out a little bit more, in the universe, there are an infinite potential of possibilities. We know this from quantum physics. This is an area of great fascination to me. We have an infinite potential of possibilities of your life, right? There are multiple options of how your life could have turned out. And in fact, a lot of quantum physicists believe that they're all happening right now at the same time. So for example, there might be a version of my life where I'm not married, or a version where I'm married to someone else, or a version where I have more kids or less kids or no kids, or a version where I'm overweight or underweight or whatever, millions of different jobs that I could have had, right? All of those different potentials, versions of me, all exist in the quantum at the same time. Through the decisions that I have made, I have right now chosen to activate this version of me. The version that you are looking at, the version that's happily married, has 3 kids, has this career, has this lifestyle. That is the version that I have activated through the decisions that I've made. So this version that you're looking at is the natural consequence of the decisions that I've made. So I'm saying this because some of the questions that I was getting asked were really quite interesting, because people are misplacing the problem. So for example, I got several questions saying, what if my husband refuses to do the dishes? What is the natural consequences? What is the natural consequence of that? Okay. Or what if my husband doesn't care if the natural consequence is that the dishes are sitting in the sink? So in that situation, you're already in a natural consequence. There are decisions that you made that have ended up in this decision, in this matrix, where dishes are not being made or washed, and your husband doesn't care, whatever the situation is. So what you want to do in that situation is take the attention off of the already existing natural consequence and put it on the desired outcome. So your desired outcome to you seems like it is to force your husband to wash the dishes, but that is not the real problem. The problem is the dishes need to be washed. So when you go to him and you make him the problem, and you make it look like there's something wrong with him and you need to fix him and you need to get him to wash these dishes, you are activating a really yucky scenario already inside of a natural consequence of like this really messed up scenario where you don't support each other, you don't hear each other, you don't feel seen and heard and supported in your relationship. But if you go back and say, the problem isn't that my husband doesn't do the dishes, the problem is that the dishes need to be done. From there, you can activate so many more decisions you can make. For example, you can choose that, you know what, I just get to be the person that does the dishes and I play music and listen to podcasts and dance around, and it's just something that I decide gets to be fun. That's a decision you can make. A second decision is that no one does the dishes, you just load them up in the dishwasher. Okay? A third decision is you hire housekeeping help and they do the dishes for you. A fourth option may be that you decide you're actually not even going to use dishes, you're going to use paper plates from now on. So that's just like right off the top of my head, a lot of options that you're opened up to when you are not already stuck in this natural consequence of my husband won't do the dishes and I got to get him to do it. Okay, so zoom out and realize that every single thing happening in your life is already a natural consequence. It is already happening. It's already a natural consequence. You have made decisions in the past that have led up to this natural consequence. And the example that I use with the husband not doing the dishes, that is a natural consequence of having a marriage where you don't feel supported. Like both of you have done things to each other in that marriage where there is this like either tit for tat going on, transactionals going on. Go to the root cause over there and see why is this natural consequence already playing out in my life, and what is the root cause problem? People are not problems, okay? Realize this. People are not problems. There are root cause structural decision type of problems that are happening. And when you start blaming people, that's when you get that resistance, because people don't like being problems. They don't like their free will broken. They don't like people blaming them, right? So go back to the original cause, the root cause, and start shifting things from there. I hope for some of you guys at least that this was able to shed a little bit more light that no matter what the situation currently is, you are already living in the matrix of certain decisions that you have made. And go back to the root cause, and then you can start shifting and opening up decisions. For example, just in the dishes example, this person thought that her problem was her husband not doing dishes. So now there's only one solution: force her husband to do dishes. That's such a narrow mindset, right? Actually, there are infinite number of potential solutions to this when you actually zoom out and say, oh, it's not that my husband is the problem, it's that the dishes need to be done. Someone needs to do the dishes. They somehow need to be done, right? From there, as I gave you just 3 or 4 examples, but there are infinite possibilities of that, I almost can't believe that these are the problems that people let ruin their marriages and their lives. I personally am going to go a little bit deeper, and I'm going to request that you upgrade your problems. What a privilege it is where our problems revolve around having dishes to wash, right? Because to me, that's not a problem, that's a blessing. The fact that we have dishes to wash means that I have a family to share a meal with, that I have food to eat, that I have dishes to eat that food in, right? So to me, that's not even a problem, it's a blessing. I'm sure there are people all over the planet that would kill for that problem, to have dishes to wash. So as spiritual seekers, as higher evolved beings that are doing our inner work, upgrade your problems. That means reassign what you even consider a problem, okay? These are not problems. You could have a really joyous, glorious life experience if you just had a higher standard of the things that you would even consider problems. You guys know I'm from the Eastern culture, both, Western and culture mixed. I was born and raised here in the West, but in the United States, but my parents from the East. And my husband and I love watching shows like Love is Blind and what's the other one? Married at First Sight. And one of the things that just shocks us is the things that couples argue about in the United States they just don't exist in my culture. Those problems just don't exist. We have other problems that may not exist in the West, but it just boggles our mind because in these 2 different cultures, there's just a different standard of problems. So I'm telling you this because you can shift your perspective completely and not have the problems that you have and live a really amazing life. Really, you can live a really brilliant life if you stop worrying about these little things like who does the dishes and what's another one, like the toilet seat thing, and there's just so many weird things that apparently couples are supposed to argue about. In fact, Irfan and I often joke, my husband and I were like, are we supposed to be arguing about this kind of stuff? Maybe we just didn't get the memo, because all of these things get done in my household, but we just don't have, like, we don't consider these things problems. We consider these things blessings and gifts that we get to give to each other. This is a really simple shift, because when we can shift it from ourselves out of these like tiny little weird problems, we can actually get back to living our best life. And then when big problems show up, things that are actual problems, we can use all of our energetic and physical resources in finding solutions for them. So just reframing some of these things will get you out of that addiction to suffering and drama, so that you can actually start living your best life, because it is available to you. I promise you, it is so available to you. It's right there if you just let go of a lot of these things. And I know in the Western culture it's even taboo to say these things, because people will start going in the comments and saying, oh, I don't like to be gaslighted and this. Okay, then go ahead and argue with your husband about the damn dishes. But there are people in this world that would kill to be in that position, and I don't mind having these type of problems, because I realize these are luxuries. For millions of years, Homo sapiens killed to be in our situation. Like, they literally died out of actual survival issues. We are one of the most prosperous human beings to walk this planet ever. And then we find these little tiny things to argue about and fight about. And honestly, we're just hurting ourselves and our loved ones. There are people out there that don't worry about these things and really just live a beautiful life. And you have that option available. So it's just a decision that we get to make. All right, ladies, you guys know next week, Tuesday, my once a year birthday and holiday code will be activated. Although a lot of people in my email community, thousands of people, are already taking advantage of it because they had early access, because they are on my email list. So if you're not on it, go ahead and join. You get a free gift. You get my free container playbook that gets delivered to your mailbox right after you sign up. Check your spam if it doesn't show up, because it definitely shows up. And then you will start getting my emails. I'm also doing a free live training later today only for my email participants. And it is all things money, abundance, and spirituality. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.